What's going on, everybody? The world's a better place because you're here to join us. My name is Matt Brown. I'm the host of the Productive Conversations podcast, and it is a Feel Good Friday, May 1st. May 1st, 2026. Everybody, say your meme now. It's gonna be May. All right. There it is. All right. Got that out of your system.
I was thinking about
But,
But
it's good to do the meme from the band that is better than the Backstreet Boys. But that's a productive conversation for later. But in all seriousness, it's a Feel Good Friday. Let's start off May correctly. It's May 1st. Let's have a great month. And let's rock and roll here as we take you into the weekend. And let's talk about what's trending in sports, news, entertainment, and culture from the past week. And before we do that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding this show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X at ProdConvoPod, TikTok at ProdConvoPod, Facebook at Productive Conversations, TikTok at ProdConvoPod, and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, don't you forget to check us out on all podcasted platforms and YouTube. So as we end this week, we got a productive conversation talking about what's trending from the past week. Also available, me and Faces discuss the NBA playoffs as we wrap up some Game 6s and head into the weekend with some Game 6s and most likely some Game 7s. We'll discuss and get into how pretty intense the first round of the NBA playoffs have been. And then we're back at it next week with another full slate of shows. On Sunday, we will discuss the entire first round of the NBA playoffs, me and Faces. Me and Alk Reeves back at it again talking baseball. And then we're back at it on Tuesday with another tweet cap as we talk about what's trending for the weekend ahead. And then we will be back at it on Friday to talk about what's trending for all of next week. So good stuff. Let's have some fun. It's Brett, Ryan, and Allison in the building. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
How's everybody doing? Had a good week? Long one, fast one, normal
week.
one? Ryan, you have a long week every week, I feel.
I sure do, Matt. I sure do. That's true.
He hasn't had a short week since 2022.
I wish that it was that recently. I'm not certain I've had a short week since 2019.
I mean, that was, what's funny about 2019? Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel genuinely the consensus for the whole world, that was a good year. I know maybe not for everybody, but it was like the last normal year, if you will.
Oh, it's definitely one of the last. Yeah, it was one of the last normal
college
years.
Oh man,
Graduated college that year.
Because COVID was right after that. So yeah, it's definitely one of the last
graduated
normal
COVID
years.
Semester after I
was a COVID grad. That's what
yeah, me and Ron were 17.
Yeah.
What a time.
Not 17 years old. We graduated in 2017 because we're old people.
We're 16 going on 7.
I'm not an old person till I'm 100. When I'm 9
I'm
years
an old person right now, and that's why my weeks are so long.
I turned 30 this year, so.
Ooh.
I talked about this concept the other day, by the way, because I saw this in a stand-up routine that was filmed in 2016. and it was talking about like how events that happened in our time are really not as far away as we realize. And it was like the Declaration of Independence was written in 1776, and this was filmed in 2016. And he goes, people live to be 100. And he goes, if you think about it, that's 3 people ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even think Jerry Seinfeld had a joke about that. 100 years, new people every 100 years.
Yeah, but I was just like, but in my head, I'm like, wait, that's trippy. Like 3 people ago, our country was born.
I mean, we're not an old country.
No, we're not.
We're not. We've not been around.
We're like a teenager.
I know. Yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah, there's only been 45 people as president in this whole time.
40, is it technically 47 now?
No,
47
terms. People. 47
45 people, 47 presidents.
But Trump,
a decade is 10 years, right?
Trump and Grover Cleveland throw off the count by 2.
I'm going to be 3 decades old.
You want to know something? You guys seen Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies. It's in my Letterboxd top 4. I mean, it's true. Marty McFly, if we went back the same amount of time Marty McFly went back in 1985, that would bring us to 1996.
That's
when I was
right.
born.
I was
Yeah.
already here. That was a year old.
And yeah, it was about a year and a half. So
August
Freaky.
29, 1996.
I wonder what happened that day. Did the Yankees win that day?
You
Wow,
said
that's
they won
something
the World
crazy about
Series
me.
that year.
You want to
They
see something
did.
cool
Yes,
though,
they
guys?
did. That was Derek Jeter's rookie year.
On my
Uh-huh.
wall, on my wall, which was given to me as a birthday present one year from my uncle, who's really into this stuff, is and you can find this and give it as a present to people. There's a copy of the New York Times on my wall from the day I was born.
Oh,
And
I like that stuff too.
and I'm looking at it and just some of the stuff that like is there. Like there's pictures of like old congressional like testimony days. And I'm like, and it's so funny because like you look in the picture, you can be like, some of these people might still be in Congress because there's like there's no one ever leaves.
Maurizio Gucci was murdered the day I was born. His assassination was that day.
The
Oh, wow.
Gucci? Oh, that's not Versace.
No, Maurizio Gucci. Sorry, Gucci,
He got
not
killed?
Versace.
Why'd he
Yeah, the
kill?
Gucci guy.
His wife. Did
Was
you
that
not
from
see
the
House
movie?
of Gucci?
Actually, I didn't know.
No.
I really didn't.
You know, his
Gucci's wife killed him?
ex-wife hired a hitman.
I know
to
Lady
kill him,
Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga's character hired a hitman to kill him because, whole thing. But yeah, Maurizio Gucci was the head of Gucci. Actually,
I went to the Gucci
allegedly he's
Museum
been
in
kicked out.
Italy and they did not talk about that. What the
Well,
heck?
probably because it was my birthday and, they didn't want to ruin it. But yeah.
But yeah, Allison was born that day.
August
Sorry, that
29.
year Yankees won the World Series. Derek Jeter's rookie year. The Yankees played the California Angels. They were at California the day Allison was born. They lost by a score of 3-14.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad loss.
that's not just a loss. That's a bad
And they
loss.
won the whole thing that year.
They did.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I'm not upset.
I mean, those California Angels, what happened? What happened there? You won 14-3 to the team
I
that
wonder,
ended up winning
could
the
you
whole
quickly
thing.
name the lineup of who was playing for the Yankees that day? You don't have to can you just tell me the position players?
I would say the starting pitcher, this was 1996.
Yes.
Derek Jeter was on.
Yes,
Derek
he
Jeter
batted
was a
ninth
rookie,
that day. He batted ninth. He was a shortstop. He went
No.
1 for 4.
First
with
was
two strikeouts. Was batting
first was
306 in that time.
First was either Mattingly or Tino Martinez.
No, Tino Martinez. Mattingly retired the year before.
Okay, so it was Martinez. Okay. Was third base Brocious?
No, Wade Boggs was third base.
Wade Boggs was third.
1 for 4 that day.
Well, it sounds like most of the team was 1 for 4 that day. They got 3 points.
So the other one, we had Joe Girardi, who was the catching that day. He hit a home run.
Yeah,
Bernie Williams hit a triple. We had Paul O'Neill in right.
The Warrior.
Bernie in center. Dale Strawberry in left. Cecil Fielder at the DH. Tino at first. Paul O'Neill at right. Mariano Duncan at second. Girardi catcher. Jeter short. And the starting pitcher was Wally Whitehurst.
Who? The pitch. So the New York
who led up 14 runs.
The New
Good
York
old Wally.
The New York Times thing on my wall, guys. The bottom headline. You know how the New York Times front pages they have the big top thing?
Yeah.
And they have one on the bottom. The bottom headline was, with 6,138 lives, Cats sets Broadway mark.
Ha! Yeah, that's what a time. But
Cats.
that was back then. This is now. So let's talk about what everybody was discussing on May 1st, 2026.
That's right.
And this is a weird one. I thought we were at least going to get a 2-week break from sex scandals with all these horny people. And before I introduce this topic, in all seriousness, it really is a sad, disgusting thing what this person is accused of, despite all the various jokes being associated with it. And at the end of the day, there are people who unfortunately survive horrendous sexual acts and sexual violence. So let's keep that in mind while we discuss it, and everybody's innocent till proven guilty. But again, there's some nasty stuff here, and it's pretty nuts. But yeah, we have this lawsuit, and it reads like a movie, like some erotic thriller that involves sexual coercion, drugging, racial slurs, and a bank that says, quote, we'll look into it and found nothing. So I'll talk about the Lorna Hajini. She is a 37-year-old executive director of JP Morgan's leverage finance division, a finance lady, not finance bro, lady. But she joined JP Morgan in 2011 and made the VP in 2018 and is an executive director since 2021. So we have
Moving
John
fast.
Doe, who alleges that harassment began in the spring of 2024, escalating from unwanted advantage. John Doe alleges the harassment began in spring 2024, escalating from unwanted advances to alleged assaults, where she tied his promotion to his compliance. Where you actually see in this complaint, I will mess up your promotion if you don't fuck my brains out. That's a literal quote from the complaint. So she allegedly told him he needed to start, quote, pleasing her to make him an executive director. The most explicit claim, Hadiji allegedly admitted to drugging him with roofies.
Yeah, roofies.
Yeah, and an erection-enhancing substance before having sex with him. Racial abuse throughout, including calling him, quote, a little Arab boy toy, even though he's Asian, not Arab, at a work event. Formal complaint in May 2025, Doe says he was placed on leave, locked out of systems, got threatening calls referencing ICE and his race, and that senior managers gave him negative references to sabotage his job search. JP Morgan denies everything, says Doe did not cooperate with the investigation, and Hadiji is still employed there at this time. And on the other hand, some people online feel that Doe is a liar because of not participating in the investigation by having and not providing any evidence of any of this happening. And some people feel that he may have been caught in infidelity and made this up to avoid any repercussions there. But I mean, it's pretty nuts. We always know about these things and whether the double standards or what. Some people don't. I mean, quite frankly, there's not a lot of people who feel exactly bad because she is an attractive woman. And again, you have to take what he says. You have to take his word. Again, anything's innocent until proven guilty, but you have to think, would he lie about this? Would he really lie about this to avoid cheating on his wife? Or would he lie about this because of whatever? Regardless, it's still nasty. I am quite surprised that JP Morgan, with a lot at stake, they just opened that new building across from Grand Central, and like they seem pretty confident that none of this went down. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. While the Vrabel and Rossini was a little more juicy, fun to talk to, this is pretty sad, if you ask me. Well, we know, and as I mentioned, the double standard goes the other way too. Always. We're at the end of the day, no means no. Be a respectful person. Don't let your horniness get you in trouble.
Well, this is only viral for two reasons. One, she's hot, and two, that the way that people have responded online. That's it. And frankly, the way that people have responded online is because of the first reason. So it really all boils down to that. I was going to get mad about this. I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to be calm. What does he gain out of lying? He lost his job if he lied about this. He was a junior executive. Now he's unemployable because they wrote him bad reviews, allegedly. So, and whether they wrote him the bad reviews or not, he's currently not employed, right? So he lost his job, to save his marriage? If you're broke, you're not going to save your marriage anyway. To me, none of it makes sense. Because they're not even saying, oh, there was a consensual relationship and he's lying about the coercion. They are claiming that he made up an entire story, that he's pretending that he slept with someone he's never slept with. So even by JP Morgan's own admission, this guy didn't cheat on his wife. They're saying it just flat out didn't happen. How is that possible?
And if anybody's curious, this is what she looks like. And I told Ryder this. It's crazy how much she looks like Diana Rossini.
She does kind of look a little bit like Diana Rossini.
Like,
but...
what?
But yo, in all seriousness, the folks online who are like, oh, he
And by the way, they
cheated.
actually said glamorous JP Morgan exec.
Well, that was infuriating, by the way. But
Come on, Daily Mail, be better.
but my thing is the response to this online is the reason why it's double. One, it's why guys don't come forward about things like this. And two, it's frankly, we all talk, oh, men are lonely, men have higher rates of this, that, the other thing. Just look at the comments on any tweet about this today, and you tell me why you think men, jump from a high place or take all of the pills in their medicine cabinet. This guy was potentially assaulted, and everybody's either saying, I wish I was assaulted, or they're saying you're a lying schmuck. And here's the thing. There are ladies doing it, and that's one problem. And I would just point out, if it were the other way, all those ladies would have something very different to say. But it's also mostly guys doing this to other dudes.
Mhm.
It's guys who
Yeah.
they have to perform manliness on the internet to such a degree that they're literally ignoring someone who could have been actually attacked. And this person allegedly made disparaging remarks not just about him, but about his wife. So as she's assaulting him, as she's assaulting him, she's insulting his wife. It's absolutely disgusting. The fact that she still has a job is insane. And really, if you don't see how this is a problem because she's hot and he's a guy, I mean, just that's fine, I guess. Everyone can do their own thing, but man, please shut up if someone you know or love is ever abused. And I hate saying that to people because I don't believe that that's fair. But if you genuinely don't see an issue here, then please don't talk to me about other issues later because you have no credibility to talk about things of this nature.
Well said, Ryan. I second that. I don't really have much else to add to this. Hopefully, we find out in the coming days more information. Justice can be served, and
If he
if
did make the whole
somebody,
thing up, he needs to be in. I want to say that. If somehow he never even touched this woman and he made all of this up, and I mean all of it, and JP Morgan isn't lying, and let's be clear, I'm saying right now, I believe they are. He needs to be in like like an asylum because that's crazy. He's like, I know how I can make some money fast. Creates a whole like 50
Ex-
Shades of Grey story. He should have been an author. He should have been writing
this
50
does
Shades
play
of
out
Grey.
as an erotic thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If this is
like,
all made up, that's crazy. But I
well,
want to
I
throw
mean,
that out there just in case that's
if it is
truly what
made
happens.
up, that's a very well thought out story.
It's not
Um,
made up though. I'm
I
just
know.
gonna say
I'm saying
I
if
don't believe it's made up.
if it was that, like,
I
this would
agree.
have been very well thought out and premeditated. And honestly, like, I'd rather put that on paper in a book than
That's what I mean.
like, that's the whole thing. But like, first of all, like, I mean, if he did make it up and they found that it was a story, I mean, kudos, dude. You got people to believe you for a little bit. But
Yeah.
you know, my whole thing is too is like, like you said, like, there are women who do this to people. Now, obviously, we don't hear about it as much, but you know, it does happen. So there's the thing of like, it didn't happen, which we don't know, and there's the thing where it could possibly have happened. No matter what, this has now turned into a fucked up situation because now, like Ryan said, if we find out that he was making it up, then no company's gonna want to hire him because they're gonna be like, all this guy does is make shit up. How do we know he's ever gonna
True.
do an honest day's work? And the other thing is, if it proves to be true, then the rest of his life gets messed up because his wife's like, I'm going to leave you and I'm going to take the children because you cheated on me. And then he's still going to be looked at as a jerk because they're going to be like, oh, well, he went behind his wife's back. Like, can we trust him as a worker? Like, no, he's put himself in a lose-lose situation, which honestly, it's like, I would like to
If he
know
made it up, yeah.
if he made it up. Like, I would like to know what happened. I think something might have happened. I just don't know what narrative is the true narrative. But let's also not forget about the fact that this is JP Morgan, a very well-known high-end finance and finance company and bank that has been mentioned in a lot of the biggest economical stories in the world. and has been mentioned numerous times in stories about like the economic collapse of 2008, like when they were talking about all the big banks, and there's always shady stuff going on at big banks. We don't know what happens behind.
I took out my car loan through Chase.
It's exactly
Chase.
like we know that shady shit is
Paid it
going
off
on
too.
behind closed doors. We don't know what's happening at JP Morgan. I used to joke around with my brother when he would talk about JP Morgan's president just to like piss him off. He'd be like, yeah, I saw him in the office today. I'm like, yeah, that guy's probably running a whole Ponzi scheme in your office. Like I was like,
Might be.
I make that
Is it
whole
Jamie Dimon? That's
yeah,
JP
Jamie
Morgan.
Dimon. Yeah. But it's like I don't know what to think because it's like you said, there are ladies who do it, and obviously we just don't know that much about it. But I feel like a lot of the times when a woman does it, it's a teacher doing it to an underage student rather than like a corporation. I feel like
I think that's what we hear more about
that is what
because
we hear more about. Yeah, than
Way
a
too
because
often.
when if a teenage boy comes forward and says, "My teacher did this to me," you still have the people be like, "Should have been me if the teacher's hot." That will never not happen. But for
Yeah.
the most part,
It
no one
happens
is
too
like
often too, if you ask me.
for the most part, everyone is of the mind that you're a kid. You shouldn't be forced to do something like you're a kid. When it happens to a man, like an actual man, other men determine that it's important to assert their own masculinity. I mean, I hate to use this term. I think it's one of the dumbest terms we've ever coined, and most of the time is used incorrectly. But if you're in the comments trying to defend or disprove this
Or
story
hype this guy
already,
up.
you are no one's hyping him up. Everyone's clowning him, which is why again I don't think he's lying. But if you're trying to basically go ahead and say this didn't happen, that's toxic masculinity. That's you trying to be a dude. You're like, I'm such a man, this would never happen to me. I could never be assaulted because I'm a tough man. This guy is either lying or a little bitch. That is what they're doing. You could just read any comment.
And no matter what, he's unemployable now because no matter
Well,
how
I
much
mean,
he
yeah,
put
I
up,
guess
he's screwed.
unless he was assaulted, then he's
But
probably fine.
if he actually was assaulted though, like if he actually was assaulted, I mean he's screwed no matter what because like if he actually was assaulted, you know, there's still going to be, I mean, there's always going to be people who are skeptic because it's
Sure. Yeah, but
because it's a man and it was done by a woman.
yeah.
So like usually companies like to stay away from people who were in public situations like that, like when stories make a
Yeah.
national headline, because they want to avoid the headache. Even though like if one person
Well,
was a
he's
victim,
remained anonymous so far. So as long
yeah,
as that stays the case, he'll be
yeah. But
fine.
if his name comes out,
Yeah, that'll
then
make it harder for sure.
then no one's going to want to hire him because they're going to be
Well, I
like,
got his. They
he was
found
in the
his name,
limelight.
as I'm seeing right
No, you're
here.
gonna
I
out him on
already
the
found
show.
his
John
name.
Doe.
Jesus, he's like an internet detective.
John Doe Shirayu Rana, 35, now a principal at Bregno Sagemount,
I don't
left
think
JP Morgan and went straight into private equity.
Okay,
This is from a report from
that's fast. To find it that fast is
independent journalist Gabriel Horowitz.
For a second, I thought you said The Independent, like the
He's-
newspaper, and I was like, Trent Krim, The Independent.
He said the whole quote thread in his bonus premise collapsed. The woman in question, Hajini, reported to a completely different managing director than Rana. She had no say over his compensation. JP Morgan pulled phone records in their investigation, reviewed emails, interviewed the full team, found nothing. Rana even refused to participate in his own investigation. A colleague described Rana as, quote, socially awkward, but someone who, quote, met the requirements to stay at the bank. Before any lawsuit, he tried to negotiate a payout in the millions to leave the bank quietly. They didn't bite. He filed court filing, then his lawyers retracted it for corrections and deleted it. But the Daily Mail already ran the whole thing, and the rest of Twitter did its thing. So he tried to get paid, didn't, then filed a low retracted complaint against someone who couldn't touch his bonus. Wild. Feel terrible for her and her family. Again, that just dropped
I
a
don't.
couple hours
I
ago.
doubt that. I'll look into that later. Obviously, I have not seen it. I don't. Who said that?
Look for Gabriel Horowitz.
Okay, Gabriel Horowitz. I'm calling you officially a liar right now. I'm going to prove that you're lying. There's no way. There's no way he picked a random person at the fucking place he worked and said, "I'm going to accuse her of sexual assault." I'm sorry, that's not what happened. It just isn't. honestly, him cheating on his wife and pretending is a more it makes more sense than the idea that he randomly selected a name from a hat
He
and
played for
said
the
that it's so.
Rutgers soccer team.
Oh, that's fun. So no, I don't believe that. I think that story is incorrect. I also think the idea that JP Morgan doesn't have
Now we
racists
have
working there is
Colin
insane.
Rugg.
Oh, well, don't even read what
Second
Colin Rugg
this.
said to me. I
I'm
don't
Colin
have
just
Rugg's
to
an
hear
saying.
what he
idiot.
had to say.
I hate that guy.
I don't have to hear what Colin Rugg had to say. You've made your point. You've got people saying it didn't happen. I think those people are wrong. I think I'm going to be proven correct, as I often am when those people say something and I say the opposite. But just remember, wherever you are right now, when someone you care about, I don't mean personally, but I don't not mean personally. When someone you care about has to go through something like this, and you say, "How can people be so dismissive?" This is how. This is how they can be so dismissive. You're doing it right now.
I hear that. We will, like I said, we will see. I'm just showing what other people are showing as well. So we'll just wait for this all to come to fruition. But for now, all I just hope is help these survivors out. Most importantly. Fair. All right. Let's go to other things. Like Klay Thompson and Meghan the Stallion that are no more as a couple. So they started dating in the summer 2025. She posted poolside pics. Eagle-eyed fans spotted Klay in the background, and they made it official at her Pete and Thomas Foundation Gala in New York City in July 2025. During the relationship, she was at courtside for many Maverick games. She named his boat SS Stallion, and they appeared to have moved in together. But then there was a breakup post with, quote, cheating. She accused Klay Thompson of having cold feet about monogamy after she supported him through horrible mood swings all basketball season and accused him of cheating in general. Klay's response, while on an Instagram live on a boat, drinking something, playing Casanova by Levert, said, quote, God feels good to be back. Nothing like the ocean. Didn't address the breakup. Meghan announced she's ending her Broadway run in Moulin Rouge on May 1st. I did not know she was in that, but that's cool. And yeah, I guess a lot of people were very upset about this. I mean, they only dated less than a year. Who knows if there was cheating or not? Whose side are you on? Klay Thompson's side or Meghan the Stallion side? Now, he didn't indict himself. He used his Fifth Amendment rights. He just said, I'm happy to be back in the ocean. Does that mean I'm happy to be back because I cheated? I got caught. Or I didn't get caught. I didn't cheat. Who do you pick?
Klay Thompson's a professional athlete. They all got side people.
In every city.
Every city.
Yeah, I
I
know. It's
choose
just
to believe certain athletes don't cheat.
I think they all have at least once.
No.
do
Or
you
a
think
couple
Aaron
of them.
Judge did the
That's what
ultimate thing?
that's what I was referring to. Everyone I know says that he cheats on his wife, and I'm like,
What?
I know, and I don't think
What?
so. But then I was like, it's
Ew.
not with me, clearly. So who would else would it be with, you know?
Not with me, clearly. Think
Oh
about
man, that
how
means
much
there's a
traveling
chance,
they
I
do,
guess.
how
Look-
lonely they get.
Well,
because
because they were saying that Aaron Judge, like, apparently he never leaves the hotel on away games because like he doesn't want to be like
bunch of
recognized.
shit.
And they come to him? I'm just
I don't
kidding.
know.
Oh,
I'm sure they
NDAs
come
and
to him.
shit that are signed.
I'm sure many girls have walked in and out of that hotel room.
No! Can you
Well,
imagine?
what about me? When's it my turn?
Oh.
If you could see me now.
But I said I mentioned this on the show before. We had the infamous Jose Canseco steroid bug juiced, where he said every single one of his teammates in his entire career cheated except Roger Clemens. That was back in the 80s and 90s. I don't know. Did we grow more moral since?
Well, Jose Canseco also said that he injected every single person in his locker room with HGH.
Very true.
Oh,
Very
wasn't
true.
there another story we did where the wife said you have to tell me all the people that cheated or like
Oh,
Yeah,
that
I'm
was- that was
divorcing
player.
you?
That
And
was
then she
that was in
told
hockey.
everybody, and
Yeah,
I
we
was like,
did
"Oh
that.
my god,
That was in hockey with Ottawa
hilarious.
Senators goaltender Linus Ullmark.
He threw everybody under the bus. What a team.
literally."
Linus
man.
Olmark was like, screw my American friends. I'm gonna just put them all under the bus. He's from Sweden. He's like,
there
goodbye.
was a TikTok I came across today that a
I
girl
guess-
said if I'm ever married in my prenup, I'm putting like if you cheat or commit adultery, like you owe me $500,000 a year or something.
Yeah, I heard about
I'm gonna
that
start
too.
doing. I'm
That's
gonna
smart.
do that. I know that is really smart. I'm gonna, and if he doesn't sign it, he doesn't want to marry you that bad. So
Man, Aaron Judge, the cheater. Oh,
I know I
man.
can't picture him as a cheater, guys.
Any of these people you spoke to, were they any eyewitnesses? Or these? Okay, maybe they're just lying.
I don't think that the framing of most of these guys have somebody in every city is a fair framing. I get why
Oh,
we
you'd be
say.
surprised, man. I've
Do
even
you
heard.
know how I
I've
know?
No, I'm
had
not
heard people that wrote
surprised.
that.
You know how I know
do
it's true,
believe
though?
plenty of them cheat. I'm just saying. I do think that, again, frankly, connected to the first story, that's just guys trying to be guys without knowing shit about anything. But no, I do believe that some of them cheat. I think Klay Thompson probably also cheated. It seems pretty clear, given what that she said out loud. He cheated on me, and all he said was "nice day on the boat," which to me is what you say when you
Yeah.
got caught. That's what you say when you got caught cheating. You don't make up a story. You just ignore it and go.
Do you know how I know?
go
Do you know
on
how I
and
know a lot of them do, Ryan? I'll tell you how I figured this out. Is that I watch the ESPYs every year. I love the ESPYs, and Drake hosted one year. Back this was when Drake was like, I mean, Drake is still so big, but this is like when he was like peaking at the height of his fame, and he's hosting it, and he wrote a song for the ESPYs called "Side Pieces," and he performed it at the ESPYs, and I have to tell you, everyone was laughing at his jokes all night. That when I tell you the faces of the players that were sitting next to their wives and girlfriends while this song was playing went from smiles to oh shit in a matter of seconds, and they kept panning over to everyone. I'm like, these players' wives are like, I want to beat your ass when we get out of here tonight.
Yeah.
It's wild work.
At that moment, I
yeah.
was like, you see all the hundreds of athletes in that room? They've all slept with another person at least one time.
It is. I will say back to the Aaron Judge. It would be something his whole life with his high school sweetheart turns to the superstar he is. I mean, Jeter did it right. Not get married till after his playing days were done. And you don't hear at least disparaging stories.
Well, what's it called? Judge believes he believes in God like a lot too.
So
He's like a very
Apparently,
if
he's like
he-
a really big.
if he's like
a
really into
big
it, that will
junkie,
be-
apparently.
Well, I'm saying if he's
that's
really
where he's
into
at.
it,
That's where he'll be
it
in
will.
confession. I'm sorry. I do love you, but this, I'm sorry.
But if you think he's watching, you don't necessarily want him to misbehave. If he's
I
like
mean,
truly
again-
like, if he's super, you know what I mean, like super religious, like then yeah, I would
I
say
just
that
feel
that's
like
a
as
good
an
Wasn't
shout.
Mike
athlete-
Vrabel though? And he had a 6
I
year.
No,
just feel like as
Mike
an
Vrabel's a
athlete, I would
fucking
have-
liar,
yeah.
Matt. That's the difference.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Allison?
No, I was just saying. I feel like as an athlete, I wouldn't have time to cheat.
Oh, I'm sure they have
You wanna know?
time.
I actually have I have a good friend.
How? If you're playing like 6
play-
days a week and you're
play the
traveling
game
all
and
the
then they got
time,
Well,
nothing
have
to
you
do.
ever heard that infamous Mickey Mantle story? I'm sure Brett's heard that story.
Sure, I have.
I mean, I may
Aw,
have.
man.
I don't. I mean,
I'm
Mickey Mantle
sorry
was from
to
a
all my
completely,
boomer friends.
you know.
Also,
we
guys,
have to-
John F. Kennedy was cheating on his wife constantly with Marilyn Monroe, and people are like, he's the president. He doesn't have time. He's always in meetings. I'm like, that
Well, I'll be
guy-
honest with you. I'm
I'm like-
impressed with him because I feel like he probably shouldn't have had time to do that.
Oh, he
Yeah.
should
The
not have
fact
had time.
that he carved out that time is impressive. But no, athletes, they play the game and then they got the rest of the night off. I mean,
but they have
the
practice.
timing, I
they
don't
have
think
cool
timing's the problem.
downs. They have a
Well,
bunch of stuff.
cool down is, first of all, if you're a big
Cool.
star who can sleep with anybody you want, you don't need to go to cool down. You can just go. You don't have to stay. So no, I don't think the timing component is the issue for athletes. I think they have actually more time because they travel around the country. They play for a few hours and then they do nothing else until they get on a bus to go somewhere else to play.
Also,
So-
MLB players probably have the least amount of organized practice out of any athlete
Mhm.
because they're playing every
All
day.
the time. Yeah,
Like
you
they're
play
playing
yeah.
every day. Like
they still got
like-
the nighttime. They
Yeah,
just
like-
don't
like-
sleep.
That's
Like,
what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't have a lot of
people don't- people
practices.
don't
They got
realize that.
games, then they got nothing, then they got more games, and they
They
got
don't
nothing.
have practice. They just go and they run on the treadmill in their clubhouse for a few minutes.
So I have here with Mickey Mantle, right? Receives a questionnaire in the early 60s as they asked, as they were just asking, he was doing a performance review like any other job. They asked, I consider the following an outstanding experience at Yankee Stadium. This is what the Hall of Fame legendary Mickey Mantle said here in 1961. I got a blowjob under the right field bleachers by the Yankee bullpen. And then the next question, this event occurred on or about, I think it was the 3rd or 4th inning. I had a pulled groin and couldn't fuck at the time. She was a very nice girl and asked me what to do with the explosion with the love juice. He uses the C word. And after I finished in her. He said the C word there. I said, oh, this is bad. I said, don't ask me, I'm no cocksucker. Signed by Mickey Mantle. This was sold for $250,000 at an auction.
I mean, again, that's one of those classic stories, right? Those classic baseball stories. And if you are a guy who puts any stock
Do you think
in today's society based on what Mickey Mantle said in 1961, please log off. I don't want to hear from you. I don't need to know about you. Go away. It's 1961. It's not equivalent. There's nothing equivalent to today in 1961.
Can we just say that in the 60s, guys, and even when our grandparents were around and when our parents were first born, let's just say this.
Which is the 60s for many of us.
Like my parents were born in 67, so they basically grew up in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So but our grandparents were born in like the 30s and actually grew up in the prime of the 50s.
50s and 60s, yeah.
Like exactly. So my whole thing is back then there were no laws.
Well, there
Like
were
if you
laws.
really think
There were
about it,
laws.
back then there was no rules. Like people did whatever the hell they want
you think
without repercussions.
there's a play? Is Trent Grisham getting a blowjob in between innings?
No.
No.
I don't even know that
Too
is,
many
but no.
cameras. Or how about it? Or in the dugout?
That's crazy. I feel like you'd be able to know.
I gotta tell you,
You
there
would
was
know,
one-
yeah.
Today.
There's
There
too
was
many
one player who
cameras.
just-
The bat boys got
That's why you put
way.
him in the dugout. I don't know. I'm
There's-
just saying. By the
there's
way,
one-
Knicks win 140 to 89. Great stuff. Move to the next round.
By the way, one Yankee probably would have been capable of that, but he never did. Was A-Rod, because he used to find the prettiest girls in the crowd and then write his phone number on a baseball and throw it to them.
Yeah, you see Justin
that's
Verlander. You see Justin Verlander do that to his wife now, Kate.
Kate Upton,
Yeah, there you go.
which by the way is ridiculous because she's beautiful. How dare he?
Before we go to our next story, I do have bad news. The New York Post wrote a story about how the J.P. Morgan suit is a complete fabrication.
I'm
so
looking at it now. That's not what they said. I just read the whole thing while you were talking about all of the girls that the New York Yankees Aaron Judge doesn't or does sleep with. It's not what they said. That's what Gabriel Horowitz pretended that they said. All it said was that JP Morgan has said that it's not true. That's what the New York Post wrote. That's what they just released, which we already knew. But the New York Post, I don't know. I wonder who their bank is. But yes, they published saying JP Morgan has said none of it's true. And the lady also said none of it's true. So they're sticking with they never slept together at all. That there's no assault, there's no cheating. She doesn't know who this guy is. She never slept with this guy. He made the whole thing up. So that is the two sides. Do you believe they fucked or not? And then you pick your side based on that.
I mean, are there any messages or anything between them? Emails, text?
Doesn't say. They're saying that JP Morgan said that they did their investigation. He did not participate, and they determined that there was nothing. That there was nothing to the allegations. That's what JP Morgan has said. The guy on Twitter extrapolated a little bit about what exactly that means. But the facts are they asked coworkers. They said they didn't think that that was true. They did investigation. They asked him to be part of the investigation. He refused to be part of the investigation. So they did it without him. And the conclusion they came to was that no wrongdoing on the part of the executive. He has a job somewhere else now. That's that.
Why didn't he participate?
That we don't know.
Well, we'll find out what happens in the coming days. But yeah, there's two sides of this story. We'll see who's the correct one. And moving on, who watched the movie American Pie?
I did.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Not a
seen
long
it at least
time, but I've
once?
seen it.
American Pie. So you all remember Nadia from American Pie?
Oh boy, do we?
Oh yeah.
The special woman in this movie.
Who was referenced the
And
play an American Reunion when the main character got hurt. He's like, "There's a woman that my son is waiting for a visit, who he's trying to, get with." One of the best lines in that whole movie with Eugene Levy.
it's wild, but Nadia from American Pie, her real name is Shannon Elizabeth, launched her OnlyFans on April 16th, and within 7 days, she has grossed over $1.2 million. More than half of that came from direct messages alone. She said she was tired of Hollywood, where, quote,
Excuse me.
other people controlled the narrative, and wanted to, quote, show off a more sexy side no one has seen. No full nudity so far, 1.2 million. Let that sink in. She now joins Carmen Electra, Bad Baby, Dre DiMatteo, who used OnlyFans proceeds to save her home from foreclosure, and Sophie Rain. She is still based in South Africa doing conservation work with their Shannon Elizabeth Foundation, and is planning a charity gala in Las Vegas in June. She is doing it. How about that?
I mean, wow. She's a conservationist who does OnlyFans. That's like an interesting combination
It
of like
is.
philanthropy meets pornography. I mean, honestly, good for her. If she felt that she was being like typecast or whatever, and that this is a better deal for her, then I say go for it. If the market always pays you what you're worth, right? That's the idea anyway. So she's
I
worth
just can't
1.2 million.
believe still that there are people who are
Well,
actually doing this.
I
Just
don't get
pay
that
for
at all.
messages. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
You
But
have to be very lonely, I feel, like to be
well, especially
paying
for
to
I mean,
message somebody.
not even to be crude about this, but especially when there's no nudity.
That's what I'm saying. Like just
Yeah.
straight messaging.
This is just a hot girl will respond to your message if you pay her. And that's like, we were talking about, I forget, that might have been off camera. We were talking about this. Like, that's all you're getting for your money, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like it's OnlyFans is so weird to me because just like think about it's like this is even crazier. It's like the stats of people. Like I saw this in like a podcast that said like it's not just men who are doing this, but it's like all different types of people. And
Yeah.
because there's the male creators and
Yeah.
they're like who are these men and women that are subscribing to these people? Like everyone's like this has to be like the biggest group of lonely people on the planet
Well,
because
so you
You'd
know what's
think.
actually interesting though about the subscribers when you look at them for like men and for women, a
yeah.
lot of times they're the same people.
Yeah.
Subscribe to both.
Yeah.
Weird.
It's like I think they just genuinely are very horny and lonely, and they'll talk to whoever answers. It could be a
Yeah.
naked girl or a naked guy or Nadia from American Pie. It doesn't matter.
Nadia from
Um,
American Pie kills me.
I would just like to say a OnlyFans model did hack my TikTok and wanted to be me so bad that she wanted to take over my TikTok. So
Someone
Take-
hacked ours. Maybe they were in OnlyFans.
yeah, she literally
Hate that.
every single one that had my face in it, she removed. She kept the ones with major likes, and she started posting like her own content. And I was like, and she
We
was
should do
using a
that.
lot. She was using a lot of my stuff, so I commented on a bunch of things and reported it. And a lot of people were like, "Why did you like?" Some people thought it was me, like that. I just like, yeah. So it was a big thing, and I'm like, no, that is not me.
No, but like my whole thing with OnlyFans too is like, I mean, like with people who are subscribing to it, it's like, look, I try not to judge people, but I just think that
Well, I don't judge. Go for it. You got the
I
money.
don't judge, but here's my whole thing is that from what I've heard is that none of these profiles are cheap. Like
I know.
it's like they're not like your monthly cost at the
Well,
end
it
of the year.
depends.
Yeah,
It
but like
depends
at the
because I
end of
had
the
an
year,
OnlyFans for a day, and it was only like I did. I'm sorry, guys. No, I didn't.
That's
I
You
one of
didn't
my
were
do
favorite
that.
facts.
were you on it or were you did you subscribe?
No, I was on it.
It was your OnlyFans.
It
Okay.
was. I
Gotcha.
thought you guys knew that. Yeah,
No,
it
I
was
knew
on
that. I knew
OnlyFans.
that. I knew that.
I
too.
knew this, and
Yeah.
now I don't
I
like
had an
love it.
bringing it
OnlyFans.
back.
I had an
I love it.
OnlyFans for 24 hour, literally exactly 24 hours.
Was it like a
And
bet or you just wanted to try it for 24
I
hours?
wanted. I was told like they're like people are like you're single, you might as well just try it, like go for it. Like I was a little bigger back then, so everyone's like that's like a demographic like specific, and I'm like all right, cool. And yeah, so I had for exactly 24 hours. I had like 3 subscribers, and I think I made like $60. Like
I'll tell you what,
Oh.
if someone told me that I could make $1 million if I made an OnlyFans, I'd make it tomorrow. It's not even a question. I'm married.
you probably could.
No, I don't believe I could, Allison.
I-
I don't think there's, and I
There's
don't
a
know if there's a
market.
demographic that is not my wife specifically that is attracted to me. That's incredible that I
Brian,
managed to avoid them
Brian,
for
there's
31
people who are
years.
attracted to the weirdest things. Just post a picture of your hand doing nothing.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could
bet
go
you it's gonna be
super
someone
weird
who's
with it.
like,
But
I
yeah,
thought about doing foot stuff. Like there's people that really enjoy it. There was a girl on TikTok I saw where she like smashes like eggs or berries with her feet, and like men are into that, or like smushing like an
bizarre, by the way.
avocado and
Oh.
stuff. Yeah, with your
It's-
feet.
It's bizarre. No, like my whole first of all, by the way, Sophie Rain, who you mentioned, who's that?
who is this? Do we know
So-
who this is?
She's an OnlyFans model. Yeah.
No,
The
yeah,
girl
so
that took my thing.
no.
Oh.
Sophie Rain is a very famous OnlyFans model who has never taken off her clothes.
I didn't
Okay.
know.
Actually, she's not, and she also has never had sex in her life. She is a very religious Christian, and she is known to be the only OnlyFans model.
Right, you know a lot about this. Girl.
No, that is a specific. There is a demographic.
There was like big articles about her. And
there is a
and also-
demographic for that.
And the New York Post posted something about her because when Aaron Judge got his big contract, it said
Oh, no.
Sophie Rain was making more than Aaron Judge was in a year in the first year of his big contract.
Mhm.
That's what I was fascinated. I was like, what the actual hell is going on? And I was like, oh, she's an OnlyFans girl. That's why. That's how.
Well,
that's
but
why.
you know
I was like,
that's
I don't know.
interesting.
Brett
So
subscribed to her page.
there are
100%.
guys who are probably just sending her unsolicited images because she's completely she's untouched or whatever. Like no, that's a real market. I don't know that I believe her, but that's a real market.
I don't know if I believe her either, but like, but first of all, the fact that she was making more money than Aaron Judge in his when he first
they make
hit his
tons.
contract is amazing.
One thing we don't really see local citizens be OnlyFans models anymore.
But most of the people
that
who
was a
are
literal fad.
No,
Like,
yeah,
I
No, they
have a
tend to
friend-
be. They even if they are American, they tend to leave. They go to another country, which is
Yeah.
weird.
I mean,
Like
I had a
Nadia?
friend from college who did it, and she did like she never showed her face because she worked in a hospital. She was like a medical photographer, and
She hot.
she's beautiful. And she did like masks
Matt's
and
like,
like
"What's her name?"
cosplay and stuff, and never showed her face ever. And she made like a lot of money.
yeah. There was one of my
Insane.
friends.
The
One of my
masked
friends.
OnlyFans model.
one
I'm
of my
telling
friends-
you, with a
Yeah.
mask, if someone could make a promise of $1 million in a year, I would absolutely try it.
One of my
Would
friends told
you
me that,
ever do a couple OnlyFans?
No,
I could
I
never.
was just curious if any of you
no,
Well,
I
like
get
as
what
a
you
couple,
mean. Yeah,
like
no.
you and your
No.
partner had one.
One
The
of my-
day
one of my
I would
friends-
I would make sex content. It was when everything falls. There's no hope for the rest of life. That's when I'll stoop down and make that.
One of my
There's no
friends told
I
me
don't
his
think it's
friend-
stooping if that's what you want to do.
I-
but-
One of my
This is for
friends
me,
told
I'm
he has this
saying,
friend
like,
from his town.
No
who's a
other
girl.
options.
One of my friends has this friend of his who's a girl, and she has an OnlyFans. But I was like, what does she even do? He's like, dude, she doesn't even like take her clothes off. She just twerks for the camera. Like she just dances and twerks
For Aaron Judge.
and makes twerk videos exactly, and makes a crap ton of money just from twerking. I'm like,
Yeah, but
That's
I mean,
like-
I don't know how to twerk. So that's if there was an actual
Anyone can
market for
twerk,
me,
Ryan. We got you.
if there was an actual market, but there's not. But that's actually not why I wouldn't do the couples thing. It's just,
you don't want to expose that to people.
yeah, that's that's
Exactly.
something
Yeah,
a
I
little
don't
bit
wanna-
more
Yeah, the day you see me naked on camera is the day that
Oh, I don't care about that. I'm talking about
everything's.
if I'm like with my wife, that's not meant to be a commodity for people to trade with. Even if
Ay.
even if there wasn't a market for it, to me that's supposed to be special, right? That's supposed to be,
Yeah. That's
between
why
a
when I
couple.
went to that's why when I went to that sex party in Brooklyn, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how people do this.
Yeah,
I
don't.
know. I'm exposing myself a lot today. Ooh, very vulnerable.
It's okay. I already knew all this stuff about you. No, but one thing I will say too is that this is actually one of the funniest things I ever heard about this stuff is one of my favorite comedians ever. Shout out Nikki Glazer. Um,
Hmm.
she um she said in an interview one time I heard her on a podcast and like she said that she subscribes to all the subscription websites for pornography because she feels bad for the women and wants to contribute.
That's pretty funny, actually.
He's like, I just feel bad. She's like, in these videos, they just look like they're being beat up, and I feel bad, so I just give them money.
Maybe that's my angle.
Exactly.
Oh
Maybe
boy.
that's
I'm
your
taking my clothes off if you don't pay me.
Beat up Ryan.
All right, the next thing I have for you. Do you know who Winona Ryder is?
Yeah.
I do.
I'd have to see a picture. I don't know.
Okay,
She's
we
in
can
what's it
provide
called
that
right
for
now?
you.
That just finished.
The most famous role now is Stranger Things, but
There
I
we
mean,
go.
she's had a very
She's the
established
main
career.
girl that plays what's it called?
She's the mom in Stranger Things.
Oh yeah,
Ah.
I know who that is.
I have always.
She's also in Heathers and stuff.
I love Winona Ryder. I've always loved Winona Ryder. Yes, Heather's, Beetlejuice, Age of Innocence,
Oh, yeah.
Stranger Things, Mr. Deeds. She's had an amazing career. Ah, what a time! And this story baffled me. You heard about it, right? So, regarding the actress, do you know the band Jamiroquai?
No.
You never heard of the band
Jamiroquai?
Jamiroquai?
I've
No.
never heard of the word Jamiroquai.
First of all, number one, I thought Jamiroquai was one dude this whole time, but it's a band. It's
a band.
It's
Okay.
like a British jazz band, like a jazz fusion rock. It's weird.
It'd be way funnier if it
You
was
would
just one
definitely,
guy.
you probably recognize. I got to pull this guy up. You
Yeah.
definitely recognize the music video. They're one hit wonders, but they have a very famous music video. As I
Okay.
get this ready, they're at Woodstock '99. Fun fact, one of those bands. So Jamiroquai, you probably recognize this music video. I won't play it, but this guy, right?
It's loading.
As we have this loading right here. This guy.
I do recognize that guy.
So you know that?
I think I low-key recognize him from watching a clip from Woodstock 99.
So yes, this is the lead singer, Jamiroquai.
Okay.
How fun to say, Jamiroquai.
It is fun to say, and I do kind of wish he was just Jamiroquai himself, and that wasn't a band.
I know, right? I thought that was his name. Right?
That would make it much funnier.
So Jamiroquai is the British acid jazz band. They're behind the hits like Virtual Insanity, Cosmic Girl, Candid Heat. That video I showed you is Virtual Insanity. He has the big funky hat, all of that. And the lead singer there, his name is J.K. Literally, J.K. Jaykai. And
okay, that makes up for him not being Jamiroquai.
So Winona and J.K. briefly dated in the mid-1990s.
Oh God.
And she actually dated a bunch of rock stars at that time. Fun fact, and she finished with Johnny Depp. So in 2005, this interview from 2005 from the VHM magazine goes re-viral. 16 million views with this, where he decided to share intimate details about the relationship, commenting her physical appearance and characterizing her as exhaustingly sexually demanding. Like literally the quotes from this interview from 20 years ago. She just, quote, this is Jamiroquai, quote, she just has huge breasts, bigger than they seem on screen, and she had the habit of constantly dragging me into bed. It was exhausting. Oh, Sorry, that's
Yeah,
like,
I'm about to say.
that's like
Oh,
this
my
guy said.
girlfriend wants to sleep with me.
It's like the joke says, "Waiter, my steak is too juicy and delicious. Do
Yeah.
something about it."
Yes, this is a good time to clown somebody.
Like, look at that. Oh my god! Like, I'm sorry, viewer discretion advised, but just
Word for word, like exhausting, because he was always down to go and like always ready, and he was super fit, so he could go for it was a whole thing. Like she kind of made a joke out of it, but it's very similar, like complaints. And again, obviously, as a guy, I don't necessarily want to sleep with Dolph Ziggler, but I can imagine if a woman saw Dolph Ziggler at the time, especially, and heard her complaining about how much he couldn't stop, wanting to be with her, how he couldn't keep his hands off. I mean, there are people who read whole fantasy books now where a guy is described in exactly that way, and it's a massive turn on for them. So it's just kind of funny that, yeah, sometimes people have too much of a good thing. Maybe that's the moral of the story, Matt.
but that's Winona Ryder. That's my answer to that.
Well,
Beyond
no, I
everything
think
you said,
Winona Ryder
that's
is
Winona
for
Ryder.
us. That's for us because we're guys. I'm saying I think it's just
I know what you're
when a
saying
guy,
for sure. It's too much for people. I don't know. There is
but
such
maybe
thing
not
as,
for
as too
you.
much good
Maybe
things, I guess.
that's
I
right.
would,
Some people can handle more good things than others.
but yeah, that was hard. That was so baffling that it goes re-viral 21 years later. And by the way, this was commented on back in 2005, where the PR rep for Winona Ryder said, quote, "I will not dignify this with a response."
I will not dignify this with a response.
That means, by the way, for anyone who's interested, that means it's true.
That's diabolical right there.
She's like, I don't want. She heard the interview. Said, "Here's the thing. I need you to say something as my representation. However, I do not want you to deny that I have large breasts and I like sex." And so the PR guy had to find a way to respond without saying any of the genuinely positive things that were said about her were true.
I'll leave you all with this.
Also, is she complaining that Dolph Ziggler was always down? Because to be honest, it's like those wrestlers,
Amy Schumer, yes,
like those wrestlers are all hopped up on drugs. Like they're
yeah, she didn't mention the drugs, but yes,
like they're all like Dolph Ziggler. Like, okay, no man achieves the build that he has naturally. Like that man was definitely on some roids.
Only him. He's here to show the world.
Exactly. Like he's roided up, walking into a room. He's probably like, "Let's go." Like you can't tell me that you're not going to expect that from a guy whose job it is to look like a freaking bodybuilder.
I mean, he was pretty cut. But anyway, not the point. Yes, both Amy and JK Jamiroquai were complaining about how their objectively attractive partners wanted to sleep with them too much.
Sometimes there is such thing as having sex
drive.
drives not matching. So
that's true. Yeah, I
used to be so bad, and there were some people I like literally did not date because their sex drive wasn't as like high as mine.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. Have that. You gotta get ready.
Like it just
and
has
that's clearly
to be.
This question here, but I don't know why Winona Ryder he couldn't have stepped up to the plate.
Well, he did presumably several times, but he just got tired.
But hey, gotta get. But nature calls and opportunity comes, right?
Sometimes people just want to get laid.
Nature calls.
Nature calls.
The last thing we're going to discuss before very fun questions of the day is the day has come after 4 years, billions of dollars, and Saudi Arabia's backing. The Saudi Arabians have decided it's time to stop Liv Golf.
Yeah.
The PIF, the fund from Saudi Arabia.
Saudi fund, yeah.
The Saudi fund officially announced it will only fund Liv through the remainder of the 2026 season. The chairman and Liv founder, can you pronounce his name, Ryan? The guy who's always in Yasir Al Rumaniyah.
Yeah, that's pretty good, Matt. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's right.
He stepped down from the board, the Liv board, that is. The league has lost an estimated $500 to $600 million since launching in 2022. The total losses estimated at over $1.1 billion. Saudi Arabia spent a reported $5 to $8 billion on the whole venture. The CEO tried to spin it, first saying the league was, quote, fully funded through the 2030s, then quietly walked back to, quote, funded through this season, then deleted an interview where he said he'd have to work like crazy to keep it going after 2026. Why now? As it said and reported here from Golf Digest, the Iran-U.S. regional conflict has put financial pressure on Saudi sovereign funds, forcing a reordering of priorities. Well, golf isn't on the priority list compared to a stupid war. But
frankly, that makes sense.
The Masters was the coffin pretty much, where we had Bryson DeChambeau, who was a big deal going to that side. He didn't even make the cut during the Masters. John Rahm has scraped through. Sergio Garcia had an on-course meltdown, damaged a tee box, while Brooks Koepka and Patrick Reed lived before this announcement. It's just a great day for those loyal ones. Shout out to Rory McIlroy, especially.
Rory's like a king now.
Players who were with Liv are facing a minimum 1-year PGA Tour ban from the date of their last Liv event. Then they can come back, which honestly they deserve.
I also though I don't think I think we shouldn't overstate the war, because I think another very real issue with Liv, like, yeah, obviously Liv guys can't do the generic tour. They can't be on every tour. But all of the Liv guys who have won or qualified for like the majors, based on the major zone rule, and the majors are all run separately from PGA. PGA does not have a say in this. They can, and frankly, since the beginning, have gone to them. So you don't have to watch Liv to watch the best Liv golfers play golf. You just have to watch the PGA Championship or
all the majors
Masters.
They were able to come back.
Right. So it's like, and at the very beginning, it was like a cool thing. I think it actually helped Liv, because it's like, yeah, we got our guys performing. I remember I watched a Liv golfer in Brooks Koepka win the PGA Championship live, and it was like
the only one during that 4-year period.
And so, but people were like kind of like fired up about that whole thing, right? They were like, it added something to it. But then 4 years on, we're used to seeing it, right? They go to every single one now. They usually don't do that well. I think it was just a matter of the novelty wore off, because they were overexposed, because all their best talent was available for the PGA to use on the majors.
I have a different opinion. I think that they ended because it was doomed from the start. And to be quite honest,
oh well, that's true too. But I'm just saying in general.
To be quite honest, Liv was, first of all, Liv was doomed from the day it was created because nobody wanted to give it a TV deal because they didn't like what Liv was doing. And you know that your golf league is failing miserably when the only channel that will voluntarily like televise your events is the CW. Not even a sports channel. The CW.
Well, CW actually does other sports.
Yes, they do like local stuff for the Yankees, but like
they do Big 12 football.
Yeah, but they're not no golf. None of the big golf tournaments are going to CW. They're going to like ESPN, CBS. Like that's my whole thing. NBC. Like that's my whole thing. Is like Liv was doomed from the start. Also, Liv couldn't find the top broadcasters in golf because they all were doing PGA. The head play-by-play guy for Liv Golf, you can look this up, everybody, was Arlo White, who is a soccer broadcaster from England and the main play-by-play broadcaster in the TV show Ted Lasso. So he was their play-by-play guy. And my dad tells me this because he was watching a Liv tournament on the computer because he just wanted to see what it was like, and he was cracking up. He's like, that's how much of a joke this thing is. They couldn't even get a top golf talent for TV to be part of their league. And first of all, talk about Rory McIlroy being a king, because he had a great quote, because I think it was Sergio Garcia was leaving for Liv, and he said something like, "Isn't it so great? We're going to get paid now." And he was like, he essentially said, I don't know what the exact quote was, but he kind of told him off and was like, dude, like,
when you win, you get paid.
He's like, yeah, when you win, you get paid. Like,
yeah.
Like Rory probably should have said something like, dude, I've been a millionaire for years because I do nothing but win. Like, it's like if
that was what he was saying.
Yeah, PGA have stepped up since, and they've made the purses bigger, and they've made more people eligible for money.
Purses were always so big. If you won the Masters, you were set
Yeah,
for
but
life.
most
It
people
wasn't
don't win the
enough.
Masters. Well, no, I don't think the people complaining are the people who win the Masters.
It was
The
the
people who are
who are like
complaining
in
are the ones
80th,
who don't
80th
get
place.
in. Yeah, no, I understand the complaints. I actually don't disagree with that part of
And they
Liv's
fixed that.
strategy.
PGA fixed
Yeah,
that.
other than
Also, they were
it is
ruining
just more
golf.
expensive.
They were playing
Yeah.
they were playing
I love
music
golf.
during the matches, and they were playing shotgun style,
For
which was
Liv,
like
yeah.
which was so dumb.
I won't lie to you. I didn't hate Live Golf. I liked all of that. I
I
thought that was
hated
fine.
it.
Because
I
I
hated
don't like
Liv.
PGA. I don't like to watch golf on
Also,
TV.
I started to really hate Greg Norman because of Liv, because at one point he was a president of Liv, and he had
He's
such
still
a
CEO.
well, he doesn't really have much power anymore since they
No.
got bought out by
By the Saudis, yeah.
yeah,
The Saudis took over.
because PGA and Liv merged with that financial merger, and
Mhm.
because of that kicked Greg Norman out of like all the decision making. And Greg Norman had such an axe to grind with the PGA, and everyone's like, why does this guy have an axe to grind? He won so much as a golfer in the PGA. He literally is so rich. What is his axe to grind? Like this guy
I
has
think he was
made
trying to
so
grow the
much money.
game.
But like he was so anti PGA that he helped create Live. Like, what is your axe to grind with PGA? Why are you talking shit about the place that gave you millions of
PGA
dollars?
wasn't going to change if somebody from outside didn't change it. I think he was trying to grow and change the game in a way he thought that was better for the game's long-term survival. That's something I actually, again, I definitely, it seems like I'm the only one on the panel who's even a little bit okay with Live
I hate
having
Live.
been a thing. Um,
We'll always hate it.
and I do think that there's genuine benefit to it, but I also do one, obviously the money coming from where it's coming from is a problem. That
Yeah.
just is the case. And then two, I do think that as a business plan, it's one thing to change how you present golf, but it's another thing to do it when to have that same energy follow your guys to other places. And I think that that genuinely was the problem. You could get everything you were getting at Live at any of the Masters that they had better TV deals for all of that. Like I said, Live has between CW they had Dazen, which is a global company that was streaming all of their stuff, but it just in this market, and this market is arguably the market that matters for most athletics, the American market, they just always look like second fiddle, and they shouldn't have let their guys go play with the big boys, essentially. Like they had an insulated world, and if they had kept it that way, I think it would have lasted longer. But obviously, how do you tell the guy he can't go and try and earn $1 million? Or however many, it's not a million, it's millions of dollars if they win one of these majors. You can't. And so
Yeah.
they were screwed from the start because yeah, they're paying the players, it's great, but the players want more money. Obviously, they
Yeah,
always
well,
want more
of
money.
course, yeah. But the other thing too is just that like the one thing I hated that they did towards the end was that Liv got very political. And, regular
Oh,
golf is
yeah.
not about politics at all. Like all these guys have crazy personalities and they're like insane. Like honestly, like let's face it, John Daly, with all the history he's got in the game, is kind of a fucking psychopath. And
Hmm.
there's been some golfers that everyone's like, that dude's crazy, but God, is he entertaining. Like, you know, it all of a sudden Liv became very like this is the American golf. Like it was like America style golf. And it was just like they were always having the stuff at Trump National.
Well, he
And
was an early investor.
yeah, and they would always sometimes they would show the crowd and all the big time Republicans were there. Like
Mhm.
they showed a crowd shot once and it was like Trump, Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all these Fox News people, which is why I'm sure Pete Hegseth got the job he's at now. I'm sure he showed up at a live event. But that's my whole thing is just that like it
It's
became
UFC, same deal.
yeah, it became very like to me it just became a gathering for right-wing millionaires. And all these other players that were there were totally cool with it because that's where their money was coming from. They didn't care as
Mhm.
long as they were getting paid. So that was my whole thing too, is that I just think that Liv leaned too far in one direction. And if Liv really wanted to be successful, they would not have gone with Saudis. They would have found a better investor and they would have found a way to attract more people and
I
get
don't
more
think that.
exposure. Liv, to me, when I watch Happy Gilmore 2, that golf league is Liv.
Yeah.
Clearly. Yeah,
That
that's
is
clearly
Liv.
what they're
It's
paid.
meant to be, right? Isn't that the point?
I think that's the joke.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's do our questions of the day, everybody.
Yay, golf.
Yeah, golf.
I love golf. So, I've asked before what your favorite movies, underrated movies, overrated movies. Now, here's a good question. I'm borrowing this from the Big Picture. I'm borrowing this from the Big Picture podcast. When you ask somebody you're interested in dating, and you ask them what your favorite movie is, what's a red flag response? What's a green flag response? So you know what I'm saying?
Red flag, Wolf of Wall Street.
That is a good one.
Since we talked about that before.
I've never.
Green flag. I don't know.
So my thought is
Taylor Swift, Teardrops on My Guitar.
The Eras
It's the Eras tour
docuseries. The Eras movie.
so no. My thought, honestly, with this is the movie they say is almost not necessarily that important. If you say, "What's your favorite movie?" to someone you're interested in, and they're just like, I don't really watch movies, or
That's
like,
a
"Oh, I
red
don't have a
flag.
favorite." That's a red flag.
You know what I say after that? I
There
go,
you go.
have a good day.
If
Don't
they
watch.
if they respond,
It really is.
if they just respond with a movie, I say that's neutral. That's a beige flag. Doesn't really matter. Then you have only the movie to go off of. But if they, when you ask them that, if they get light up and they explain to you their favorite movie, not just say the name, they start saying, "This is my favorite movie. It was so good. I saw it in the theaters and I had to go back and see it a second time. This actor was great. This thing was awesome." Because that means there's somebody who, frankly, enjoys things. They have a personality that you can immediately identify as uniquely theirs because they have their own ideas and their own interests. And that means they're a full person who you can have conversations with. So that was the red flag is if they don't, "Oh, I don't watch movies." That's a red flag answer. If they say a movie and then they actually go to bat for that movie unprompted, that's a green flag answer.
Trying to think of
I have a
another.
red flag movie for me. It's like
Green flag movie. I just saw a thing on it and I love this movie. Shutter Island.
I haven't seen.
Love
I haven't
that
seen
You think
movie.
that's a
Green
whole ass
flag.
green flag, huh?
Yes.
There's nothing problematic about a person who likes
any
Shutter
girl-
Island.
About Shutter Island? Not really.
No, the
Any girl
movie is
that
fine.
tells me, any girl that tells
Brett, you
me
wouldn't watch it.
they love they love Adam Sandler movies, I think is a green flag.
Love Adam
Hell
Sandler.
yeah.
If you
I
ask
did-
me, anyone who
I've
says any Adam Sandler movie, you're in a good spot.
Anyone who tells me their favorite actor is Kirk Cameron is a red flag. No, I'm kidding.
Very specific. I know why.
Oh,
No one's ever
this
told me
is-
that.
Kirk
It's
Cameron.
not anything bad.
Oh,
It's just
growing
because like,
pains.
it's just because that means you only watch one genre of movies, and
Yeah,
I
it's Christian movies.
yeah, Christian movies. No, but like I that's a joke. But I would say a a red flag movie. Oh God, I feel like I've seen
I have a red flag for
I've seen some really crappy
For-
movies. I've seen some really good movies, but
for
like
guys specifically though.
Which
I think.
one?
I think if a guy says this should be a red flag for girls. Allison, you can tell me if I'm wrong. If a guy doesn't like, and I mean they don't have to love horror movies, but if they're not liking any horror movie, if they can't name a single scary movie they like, and you're a guy, I feel like that's a red flag. I genuinely do.
Brett.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to call anyone out, but I do. There's not a single scary movie.
well, it's
you
been
like.
great, everybody. Have a great night.
No, I'm
I
curious
love
now.
horror.
I love
fuck
horror
off,
movies.
Ryan.
No, I'm
Thanks, Ryan.
curious.
I'm single
There's not
now.
a single scary movie you like.
No, if so, if someone tells me
No.
if
Yeah,
someone
he
if
doesn't.
someone-
He really doesn't.
if someone looks at me and tells me my favorite movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Well, I don't mean that.
I will be like, that's a red flag. But I'll be like, 'cause I don't know.
I
what
almost
mind you
agree
got.
with that. I
Yeah.
don't know that I want Texas Chainsaw as the
There's a
favorite
lot of
movie
there's
ever.
a lot of green flags for me, and green flag movies especially. I mean, like if you are the type of person
Notice
that
how you changed the subject?
I did notice that. Yes. We'll come back to it offline.
But if you can tell me that you could sit down and enjoy a serious like Oscar nominated film or something that is primarily directed towards kids and you can enjoy yourself. And then you could watch a stupid comedy and also enjoy yourself. Major green flag for me.
Well, yeah.
Because I know people who are like, I hate comedy movies. I'm like, then you have no sense of humor.
That's a red
You
flag.
have no sense of humor, and I don't want to talk
Is
to
that
you.
a red flag? I don't even think that's possible. I've never met a person who's ever said that.
Yeah, like I know people who are like, I like laughing, but like those comedy movies are all stupid to me. I'm like, well, then you're dumb. Like I know
Well,
some
I've heard that, but that's just because the person saying it doesn't like to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like people have no sense of humor. Like a huge green flag movie for me, I actually think, and everyone's gonna laugh at me, I actually think it's the Toy Story films. If you genuinely
Green
love,
flag?
yeah, it's a huge
Okay,
green
good.
flag.
Yeah, good. I
Yeah,
was about
yeah,
to
yeah.
say.
The major green flag. Also, if you like, if a girl, if I'm going out with a girl and she goes, I love this, I love any action movie or superhero movies, I'm like, all
If
right,
you're a Marvel fan, yeah, that's low
Marvel,
key a red flag.
Transformers, DC, green flag.
MCU.
I think MCU is the beige flag because everybody watches those movies.
Why
You
is that?
can't
Yeah, but
learn
who?
anything about that. It's a
Yeah,
beige flag.
deep down, what MCU movies are really
None of them are really good,
spectacular?
but I'm saying
Maybe
everyone
Oh,
watches
Endgame.
them
You could
anyway.
get me
So
on
if you like
Endgame
them,
and Civil War,
you
and
do
every
re no,
others are there.
I
And
you do
like
Spider-Man:
that
Far
realize
Thor
From
this.
Home.
movie.
You do realize this that Robert Downey Jr. actually said this on Howard Stern, that the first Iron Man movie, the Academy called him because they loved his performance so much as Tony Stark, and they actually said, "Do you want to be nominated for Iron Man?" And he said no. He refused to be nominated for playing Iron Man because the year before he was the year before he was nominated for Tropic Thunder, and I guess he just didn't think, I don't know what it was, but I guess he just didn't think that like he should be nominated for Iron Man. But I'm like, dude, that means you're a pretty like badass actor if you could be nominated for playing a
For playing
superhero.
Iron Man, yeah, no,
Like
especially
He's
playing
then.
Iron
good.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good. All
I
right,
mean,
the
like
next question though. But I do like that
a hard
innuendo.
question though, Matt. That is a hard question. I should
I,
that's you know what that's gonna do? I actually asked what I call brain stimulator questions to the classes I teach at work. That's gonna be one of my questions now.
I encourage it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I got this one, but I do want to hear more of that, but we do have to move on. The next question I do have, what's something you know annoys people, but you do it anyways? Like for me, playing music really loud in my car, windows down, warm months. I'm sorry. I will do that. I mean, I feel like I'm not putting like blah 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 music or erotica like erotica audiobooks, but I do play music pretty loud in the car, not gonna lie.
Ryan's like, what do I do
You're
to
gonna
please my
hate
wife?
me, Matt, because this is one of the things that you guys said you hate. I find myself doing it more. Having my FaceTime or my phone call
Mm-mm.
out in like
FaceTime in
public.
public.
Well, like I'm
Don't do that.
talking on the phone, so like when I walk home sometimes and my earbuds die and I don't want to hold like the phone up because my arm just hurt from working out, I literally will have it on speaker and just walk and talk.
As long as I'm in a good mood, it won't bother me.
Yeah, exactly. It's not super serious, but
Yeah, if you know what I mean.
Not that
Uh,
deep.
no,
It's only
I
I only get
annoy
annoyed when I'm
myself
annoyed.
sometimes with it though, because I'm like, oh, this is so annoying.
So I do this, and I do think this bothers people at work, and I don't care.
Eh,
So I have my headphones on until I sit down at my desk for my
Oh,
commute, and I put my headphones in as soon as I get in the elevator for like the end of the day. And I got immediately I have stuff on. I'm not paying attention to anybody at that point. So I'll walk through where I work and not be paying attention to anybody. So if you wave at me in the morning, I probably didn't see you. I certainly didn't hear you until I get to my desk because that's when I take my headphones off. And I do think that probably annoys people because it's like, oh, well, you're at work, but
Do you
at
do that
work,
on purpose?
yeah, it's me time.
Oh no,
I
but
do
like
the
you
same
don't you
thing.
don't do you don't do it to be like malicious or like
Oh no, I mean,
ignore
obviously, if I
people.
see you wave at me, I'm gonna wave back and whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm not trying to ignore people, but I'm just saying, like, I genuinely do think it annoys people when folks like are walking around the with their headphones in. But like, until I sit down and log in, like, start my day, like, that's still my time, even though I'm physically on the property. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I don't try and be malicious with it. And obviously if I see somebody and they wave or whatever, I wave back. Like I'm not being a jerk. But I do think people would probably say, "Oh, take it off before you get inside." No, not until I start work.
Yeah, something that I do that like I know annoys people, but like I still do just because it's a habit. And this is gonna and Allison always notices it too, is I always leave the toilet seat up.
Oh, that
And but like
Always.
is annoying.
Always. And when he tries to put it down, his like doesn't, it's not one of the ones that like slams down. It's one of the ones
Soft
that
down?
you
Yeah.
have to like push it down. So I'll be like, put the toilet seat down. And he'll go and it's only halfway and then I crash out.
you
I
crash it down.
genuinely crash out because I'm like, put it down.
It's so funny though, because like
Let
she's
the
like,
girl live.
she's like, why is your seat never down? I'm like, I live alone.
I don't care.
Well,
You
honestly,
do it at my apartment too.
we have two bathrooms now, and that's actually helped a ton because I also I'm so used to it that I get reprimanded pretty frequently. So
Man.
Yeah, I've always put it down just to avoid an
you
argument.
got manners. That's the difference, Matt. You're Mr. Matt with
You're not
manners.
a Neanderthal.
Right, not
Or
like me
whatever
and
it's
Brett.
called.
I need to be.
Brett's a red flag. He doesn't put the toilet seat down. He can't name a single scary movie.
That's
Like
not what I
That-
said.
I can name you a bunch of scary movies right now. Test me. Let's go.
No, offline. I'm gonna find you a scary movie you'll
Scary.
like.
No, you won't.
oh, he won't
I
watch
will.
it. He really won't.
You'll watch it with Allison, it'll be fine. But anyway, we'll continue.
At least they're not gonna hurt you.
I
In the
literally
movie.
said that horror movies aren't meant to like hurt you. Like
No, you guys, you're gonna ruin it. I promise you, I will get this done, but we have to do it after because I got to get some info from Brett about what movies he likes.
All right. The last question of the day. What's a prank you once did to someone in your life? Tell us a time you pranked somebody.
I got a few.
So it wasn't just me. It was me, my brother, and our neighbor. We have this like local kind of grocery store right by where I live. And we saw a YouTube video and decided to do it. So we took a walkie-talkie and we put it in the fridge where the milk cartons were, like in the back. And then we waited, and then anytime somebody went to grab milk out of the little milk fridge, we would talk to them through the walkie-talkie, like we would make like talk, and it was pretty funny to us. But we hadn't considered how we were going to get the walkie-talkie back, and so we ended up losing the walkie-talkie because we couldn't just go over and grab it. We would get in trouble because people were complaining about it, and so we just left, and then they took the other walkie-talkie and we never got it back.
Yeah, I got in trouble for a prank in middle school once. Led me to in-school suspension.
Ah, yes.
Ooh.
Brett locked up.
That's about to say.
I was in 7th grade and I had a friend in 8th grade.
The Celtics
And
lost. They're
we're,
going to a
like,
seventh.
Everyone's messing with each other at the lunch table, and I pulled this chair out from under him as a joke, and he fell down and had to get an ice pack, and he didn't show me he was getting an ice pack. And he was laughing, and we all thought it was funny. And then I found that he was laughing because he was trying to laugh away the pain.
Aw.
And he was all fine after that and everything. But my vice principal, who was like my homie and coached all the sports teams, and I played on almost all 3 sports teams and was a captain of a couple of them, he was just like, he basically just looked at me and was like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, he's like, you're going to have to sit outside my office for 2 days because of this.
Damn, did you actually sit outside the office?
Yeah, there was a desk outside his
That's
office.
ISS?
Yes.
Public
That's really
humiliation?
Yes, there was
They
a
didn't put
desk
you in a
outside
room?
his
That's actually really funny. I like
There's
that.
a desk outside his office, and I had to go to every class that was my class and pick up my work for the day and do my work outside.
They made you pick it up too?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
And I had to go pick up my work and follow my instructions for my work and just sit in the hallway. And I think the only time I was allowed to go to like the public was to go to lunch. I couldn't even like I was able to go to lunch and then go downstairs for dismissal. I could not.
Brett the bad boy.
that was
Bad
it.
boy Brett.
That happened to me
Bad boy
twice.
Brett.
That happened to me twice.
B3, bad boy Brett.
I literally, that was one time. I mean, another time I did was it was kind of like a stupid prank. There was a girl in my grade, and we were in 5th grade. There's this kid I was friendly with, that I grew up with, who was a good friend of mine at the time, and they were like 5th grade middle school dating, and I convinced her with the whiteboard I had in my locker. I wrote that the kids switched schools, and she was low-key kind of airheaded at the time and kind of believed me, and she
Oh,
got a little
no.
upset. And she got a little upset, and I was like, "I'm just kidding. He's still here. He's out sick today." And
Oh.
Sounds like one of our friends, Allison.
and it resulted in her giving me a nice bitch slap to the face.
She
Damn,
slapped you?
It's not that serious.
Oh, jeez,
I
Brett.
mean, I guess you guys were kids.
Brett
but my
has a
God.
side.
I
I did a lot of pranks too.
Yeah.
One that comes to
also
mind.
say that girl and I, when we got older, actually became good friends, and like we
Oh,
moved to different places.
sweet.
But like as we got older, we became
You
friends.
you get to slap her once.
No, yeah, that's what I should have said to her the last time I ran into her. I've run into her a couple times over the years, and it was like really funny. That was like, that's so weird. I used to be like so mean, and then we became like friendly. She was at my bar mitzvah.
So one thing that comes to mind when I have to do
How's that hers?
a very rare band story, but we were doing a trip in Syracuse, New York, stayed at a hotel, and basically they would put everyone in the same floor of the hotel rooms, and I would take the phone in the room and just call the rooms. And I just literally, I got to like 10. I would just say, "Hey, this is the front office. We hearing complaints and disturbances. You need to come to the front office and we have to talk to you." So the person would come out. Then I would run from my room to the room they're leaving. "Hey, that was me on the phone." And I literally did it like 10 times, one too many times. Same thing, call. Here they go. Hey, it's me. Don't worry. I'd have people go down the elevator. I'd join them in the elevator. By the way, that was me on the phone. You're not in trouble. But then, of course, I get this one kid, see the same thing, and he's bawling, crying. Like, he is losing it. I remember there was a kid coming up to him. Hey, like, we'll call him Johnny. "Johnny, you okay?" Pushes him away. "It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm in trouble." And I'm like,
Oh,
and I had to
no.
like, "Hey, dude, it's me. I'm sorry." No, still crying. "I'm gonna tell on you." So I have to snitch on myself to the band director. I said, "Yeah, that was me," and he laughed. He's like, "Don't worry about it."
He liked you, by the way, which is even fun.
What was funny
I've
though,
always said that.
we lasted.
You hated
This
that band, and
lasted.
he liked you like the most.
We lasted. It lasted till the morning of, and I think I didn't tell anyone for like that 12 hours in between, right? And there was a point where I got so nervous that I saw 4 of my friends. No. It was, I saw the mom and I said, "Yeah, about that kid who prank calls. It was these 4 kids." And I said, I completely thought that was wrong. I just caved under pressure. But I remember these 4
I
kids
got in
happened to
trouble that
be
trip too, actually.
the 4 people come in the elevator. I'm with this mom. They're happy to see me. "Hey, man, how's it been? What's going on?" And then you see the mom. "What the hell's wrong with you? Ruining that kid's day." And you see their happy face to clearly mad. And that's when I ratted myself out. Ryan, you got in trouble too?
Not for that. I don't think I was involved in any of that, but I don't remember exactly what happened. I think someone like left the room after they did the whole tape the door thing. And obviously in the morning they saw that and we all got in trouble for that. But I don't believe they went anywhere bad. I forget exactly what happened. But
Wait,
yeah.
Matt, I'll tell you this prank that I pulled one time, and this is just like, I remember when I did this, I like low-key, like years later, I felt terrible because of who the kid was. But there was a kid a grade higher than me in middle school, and my private school used to do this thing for the 7th and 8th graders. We would go to Frost Valley for a couple nights. I don't know if you guys know where Frost Valley is. It's in
no.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
it's in upstate New York. It's like a sleepaway camp in the summer, but there's like they do like retreats and
Where
stuff
is it?
there. Claraville, New York. It's upstate. And it's like a beautiful area, and like we would go there and stay in cabins and chill out. It would be a fun time. And there was a kid who was they put me and like a few friends of mine in the same room with bunk beds, and they put this one kid that we low-key kind of didn't like
Do
in
you
the
mean
room.
Clarksville?
No, Claryville, I think.
You were saying though, bro.
Sorry, continue.
So they put they put him in the room, and we all had flashlights because we had to bring flashlights. And my cousin told me about this prank that she pulled in her sleepaway camp on someone that was sleeping. And I was just like, by the way, that cousin has grown up to be a doctor, and she's like totally and a serious person now. And she told me about this prank, and I was like, oh, that'll be funny. And this kid was kind of bothering us. He's just being a little annoying. So he was like sort of half asleep, and his eyes were closed, and I had my flashlight, and I was told that you could shake your flashlight and go like this with it. And if someone's asleep and they see the light, and you could scream train, and they'll wake
Oh,
up thinking that like they're like having a nightmare about to be run over by a train.
Jeez.
So I
That's
did it.
dark.
Give the kid a heart attack.
That's dark.
I did it, and the kid woke up, and the kid like came out of his half asleep like trance. He was like, ah, and everyone was like, and I was like, dude, like it was my flashlight, like you idiot. And he was just like, he was like, oh my bad, and I did it again, and I yelled truck, and then he freaked out. I was mean.
That's a mean guy.
That was mean, yeah.
Yeah,
That one in
Brett-
particular was mean.
Brett, we're
I
hearing
won't lie.
about you being a troublemaker at
I'm
school,
out myself. I'm out
making
my
dad
seventh-
kids' day.
You're
You're the true
Brett.
Brett.
dude.
This
Fifth,
is the Brett red flag episode.
dude, 6th and 7th grade were rough times for me. 6th and 7th
You were
grade.
acting out.
Yeah,
you were
mean guy.
you were changing. You were acting out.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not
a
your
mean
fault.
guy.
Eighth grade, I did nothing bad. 8th grade, I got yelled at one time for defending myself because someone said something rude to me, and I said something meaner back, and they were like, "Right." I was like, "Sorry."
Allison, did you
My
ever
bad.
prank anybody?
Yeah, there were times like I've saran wrapped people's cars.
What?
Mean girl.
You were
Um,
sure you're gonna ship them away?
Yeah, well, so
I'd
I
be
don't know if
pissed.
you know this, but if you saran wrap someone's car and it's gonna rain, the saran wrap actually sticks and takes the paint off someone's car.
I did know that.
Really?
Did it rain?
I didn't
Did
know
it rain, Allison?
So I'm
That
not
sounds like a
sure.
revenge spot compared to a
Um,
prank.
I don't think it rained. I think everything was fine.
It cleared.
There were times I've like have I egged people's houses? Yeah. What else have I done? TP was popular back home.
Yeah.
You TP
Um,
people's houses.
Yeah.
You don't go there. I just see Allison with her blonde hair throws the
Mm.
toilet paper.
What else? One time I put dog food in someone's sock while they were sleeping at a
What?
sleepover.
That's wild.
the
What was
thing
that
we're-
for?
The thing
I
we're
don't
learning
know.
about people.
What else have I done?
Mine was funny.
Oh, I like kind of similar to Matt's, but like when we would be at hotels for like basketball tournaments and stuff, I would like ding dong ditch people's hotel room door or prank call people. What else? There's probably more, I'm sure, but those are like the main ones. Star 6-7 people, that's always fun.
Oh, I
Mm.
used to do those all
I
the time.
love doing that.
Remember calling?
Uh,
There was this guy Tommy, and we said, "Hey, 40 pizzas to this house." Called back
Dude,
10 minutes later.
one of my favorite pranks, I still do this, is when a telemarketer calls me and
Oh, okay.
I answer the phone in like a really funny way, and just to see how long I could keep him on the phone. Like one time I answered the phone, and it was the same people that had been calling my house, and I was still leaving at home. I answered the phone, and I was like, "Mario's Pizza, how can I help you?" And then the guy was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, wrong number." I was like, "You have a great day." Like I was just like, I would do stuff like that all the time.
There's
Yeah.
a girl on TikTok that does it, so she'll take requests and she'll prank. Oh, also we did this thing back home. It's called flocking. So like,
Oh, this is some Wisconsin shit. Okay.
so you would like,
Wisconsin.
I was in, and you're gonna learn this about me. I was in FFA. I don't know if you guys
Future
know
Farmers of America, of course.
Okay, it was Future Farmers of America, but now it's just the FFA organization. But still, it was a farming thing. We had to wear corduroy jackets. It sucked. And I was on the Quiz Bowl team. Yes.
Quiz
And-
bowl.
Yeah,
Were you in
Quiz Bowl.
4-H too?
Huh?
Were you also in 4-H club?
No,
No.
thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And we would go, so you could like flock people. So you would just put in a request and pay whatever, and it would get the money would get donated. And then in the middle of the night, you like put a bunch of flamingos
Oh,
in
I've seen that
people's
happen where I'm from in
yards,
Jersey.
and
I've seen
you
that happen in
say
Jersey. It's hilarious.
you've been flocked.
Yeah, I've
And
seen
it's
that.
I mean,
so
that's
funny.
actually that's pretty funny.
So we did it to my grandma one time, and it was super funny, and she just like walks in the yard, she's like, what the fuck? Like, I'll have to find a picture of it, but it was really funny.
That's actually funny.
Cow
And that's
tipping's
not
a
super
big thing
Wisconsin,
too.
so I will give you that. That's universally funny.
Yeah. And then cow tipping's a big thing too.
Well, that's
back
Wisconsin.
That's mean.
Mean. She's
But
like,
yeah,
it's
then-
hard. I've
she's
never
like
done
snotty,
it,
and she's like snotty in barnyard. That's called cow tipping.
And I
You gotta
remember
be careful, cow. You piss a cow
Cows are
off. You don't want
scary.
that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't
mess
want to
with
make
that.
a cow mad at you. That's
Yeah,
not
and
an
I
enemy you
remember-
want. Nobody wants that smoke.
when I did the prank phone call, calling back later, they called back. You think it's a funny to call the pizza place?
One thing I do now too, this is not really a prank, it's just because I don't want them to call me anymore. I guess my phone number used to be the phone number of a gatehouse to a neighborhood in my hometown.
Oh, okay.
And I'm guessing it used to be. And people still call me, not anymore, but people used to still call me thinking I was the gatehouse. And they would ask me, like,
To
can
open the
you,
gate.
like, they would ask me, like, if they were like, oh, my cable guy's coming, can you open the gate? And I would always say wrong number. And I was like, you know what? I can have fun with this now because my brother and my dad were like, dude, you can just totally have fun with it. And like, and they answered the phone. I was in, I was in the dining hall in college with two of my close friends. And I answered the phone. They're like, hi, I have a plumber coming. Can you let them in? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'll let the gate open. Like,
That's what I would have done, yeah.
I did it a million times. And they're like, what do you mean you'll leave the gate open? I'm like, you don't get it, guys.
All right, let's do our nuclear opinions now. I want to go last because I have a video element to mine. But you tell me your
Ooh.
hottest take in this world right now, or the hottest take in your world right now. This is your nuclear opinion.
Mine just happened to me actually, but I opened a bag of chips and literally only a quarter of the bag was full. The rest was all air, and I was so mad because the bag of chips was like $6 because they were like organic. So fill your chip bags. Thank you.
The gas
like that.
station. The gas station, there's two of them. They're the cheapest ones, the cheapest type of gas station in the city that I live in. They're now at almost $4.35. We're over $4.30 now. All right. My nuclear opinion, and this should not be a nuclear opinion, this should be a universal opinion, but I know it's not, is the gas prices are too damn high. I had to listen for however many fucking years about the goddamn gas prices being too high. And I said, I agree. Now we're quiet as fucking children who just did something wrong about the gas prices. They're too high. We should be saying it as much as we were saying it for the last 4 years. And I don't understand why we're not. So my nuclear opinion is grow spine, complain about the gas prices like real adults who have to put gas in their car like me and Matt and Brett and Allison have to do.
I don't drive, so.
Well, if Allison had a car, she'd have to do that.
I don't drive. The only time I drive is when I'm home and I actually have to go pick something up from my parents. But I have.
Well,
had to fill-
don't have to do that anytime soon. It's a $5 gas tank. Or
Yeah,
a
I
$5
know.
gallon of gas now.
Yeah, I will tell you, I was living in Nebraska when during the Biden administration when right before the gas prices really started to get high. And people I know in group chats, they're like, "Oh God, gas prices are so crazy." I'm like, "I don't know what y'all are talking about. I'm paying like $2.20 a gallon here. That's like nothing." And I'm like,
this?
I'm like, and I'm using the ethanol gas, which honestly is a little bit cheaper and easier on my car. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm living the life right now. I'm living the dream. And then shit hit the fan, and that 220 became like 350, and I was just like, ugh. Now I understand what people are complaining about, but also the fact that I had to fill up my car a lot, and I was like, oh, I'm actually spending a lot of money on gas. But
I'm scared to drive
yeah, I
because I
digress.
don't want to pay for gas.
My nuclear opinion. Oh God, I didn't think of this today. Um, I think one of the you know what? I think this is not really a nuclear opinion. I think it's more of like kind of a fact now. All of these ultra right-wing influencers that have like podcasts on these crazy networks, they don't really believe a word they're saying. They're just doing it because they know that's what gets them views.
Definitely. That is
Even
for sure true.
clavicular.
What?
Even clavicular. Is he in jail yet? Have we got an update on that? We should look for an update on that next week.
Well, I truly think he knows what gets him views and he wants to sell a product. So that's why he says
Yeah.
what he says. Like sometimes I think because Alex Jones was in an interview one time and he said, and these were his exact words. He goes, I wish I never fucking met Donald Trump. And
Yeah.
and I actually sometimes think Alex Jones truly doesn't believe what he says, but then there's times where he proves me otherwise. But sometimes I'm listening to like Tommy Lahren, and I'm like, you can't really believe what you're saying, do you? Like, you really can't. There's no way you can believe what you're saying. Because, like, the same thing with Candace Owens, right? Like, Candace Owens apparently was a liberal Democratic podcast host and was not getting enough views. And then she switched, and now she has millions of subscribers. So I'm like, they don't really believe a word they're saying. They just want views. That's my nuclear opinion. They just want views, and they'll
Oh,
convince you.
shnikes. He overdosed on drugs?
Yeah, he survived though.
Yeah, he
But
survived.
yeah, we'll still
Sorry.
wait for them. But Brett, I think you are
You're
spot
right,
on.
100%.
And
Yeah.
we were talking about that before, especially that you can really see that in the Louis Theroux documentary. Like that is the move, man, and I hope that happens. Ryan, what's your nuclear opinion?
Was the gas prices.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Although I did just learn that clavicular apparently overdosed on stream. That's crazy. Hopefully that, sorts it all out.
All right. My last question for you all. This is
Wait, Matt, what's your nuclear opinion?
That's what
yeah,
he's doing.
I'm showing.
Oh, you're doing it. Okay.
You have to not give up. I'm not a short king. I'll never know what it's like to be a short king.
Right.
I'm above average height. But this guy has inspired me that even if there's someone taller than me, a lady very much taller than me, like a 6'4", 6'5" woman NBA, WNBA player, maybe there's something there. Or maybe there's something worth trying and shooting your shot. Just like this guy right here that we have to share. By the way, underrated content creator. I like her stuff. I don't think we've put her on, but 11 SB, she's really good.
11 SB.
Someone shorter than you or taller than you?
So she asked, would you rather date someone shorter than you and taller than you? She's short. I think he's 5'2".
He's short too, yeah.
And he's shorter than her, maybe by a smidge.
Definitely taller.
Have you dated a taller woman before?
Oh yeah, actually I have my woman with me right now.
Oh, you have your woman with you?
Yeah, you want me to bring her?
Yeah, pull her in.
Hey, has me
Oh,
Yeah!
¿Es bueno en cama?
Muy buena.
She said, is he good in bed? She said, muy bueno. He's
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my God. It's so hard. It's the best one. It's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I'm very happy. Yeah, of course.
Very
Show
happy.
us with a little dance. Would you rather
Yeah, buddy. Don't give up like that guy.
hey, just because he's shorter, that doesn't, proportions don't work quite that way.
Short guys do pretty well for themselves. In the
Yeah.
bedroom.
I mean, every girl I've dated has either been my height or shorter. I've never been with someone that's taller than me.
I've dated all shapes and sizes.
Matt's
I don't-
that's like the next one I want is a 7-foot WNBA
Oh,
player.
I'm telling you, those short guys, they know what to do with them hands.
Yeah. I remember.
I'm not a short
I was a
king.
Right,
friend.
good night, everybody.
I was a friend with a girl, old friend. She was a model and she recruited models. And I'll never forget when she was explaining how this short guy risked her up. And it was an adorable, hilarious story. It's like, yeah, he just had me feeling him. He just came up like it was nothing. So, short kings, we love you. That's my nuclear opinion. Ryan Allison and Brett, incredible stuff as always. We'll see you all next week with another slate of productive conversations. Don't forget to check out our NBA productive conversation as well. That's available on this Friday. as we talk about what's going on with the playoffs and preview the big game 6 and 7s that are being set up. The Celtics and the Sixers are having a game 7. The Knicks are going to play the winner of that series. Wow, this Knicks team might win the East. If we're going to have a Detroit and Magic game 7 next week on Sunday, wow, things are looking bright. So good stuff in the NBA talk about, but I look forward to seeing you all next week, and let's talk about what's trending for the weekend ahead. Thank you, Allison, Brett, and Ryan. We'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful one.
Yeah.